This is me normally. This is me wearing makeup. This week, I set out to find out if people will treat me differently based on whether or not I'm wearing makeup, and what it has to do for the concept of pretty privilege as a whole.
Move!
This was day one, which also happened to be the first day of classes. I was so excited. This was something I'd wondered about and wanted to do for a very long time now, and I was finally going to get some answers and just really go out there. When I tell you that I was prepared for my life to change dramatically, that would not be a lie. I don't typically wear makeup, so seeing if people would actually treat me differently was both terrifying and kind of exciting to explore. Were people gonna suddenly treat me like a superstar? Who knew? And that was kind of my mindset on day one. It's the first day of class. I wore makeup today. I don't know if you can see the mascara on my eyelashes, the glitter lip. But I wanted to make a video as someone who typically does not usually wear makeup to see if pretty privilege is real or all of that stuff. Will people treat me significantly differently if I'm wearing makeup as opposed to not? So the challenge is to wear makeup for a week and just to document if it feels significantly different or not really. The reason I'm starting this now instead of later is because I was wearing makeup because it was the first day of classes, and I noticed that a couple things. These could have just been random things, but I don't know. Today when I was on the bus, someone sat next to me on the bus, which doesn't typically happen. A guy sat next to me. Yeah, which doesn't typically happen to me. Or when I was waiting in line to talk to the professor in class, 2 people let me go ahead of them. So, I don't know, those kind of things don't typically happen. Maybe it's just an outlier and I'll discover that as I go through the week. This day, day 2, had some lipstick struggles to kick it off. Because I don't typically wear makeup, I don't typically wear lipstick either, so figuring it out, how to put it on just on the lips and without smearing, was a bit of a challenge. I had this moment of sheer horror when I thought I'd gotten it all over my face, but luckily I was able to save it by blotting out the excess with some paper. When I finished it, this look was definitely one of my favorite outfits. The fact that I had matching lipstick was just so immaculate, and I loved it. It was so fun to look in mirrors that day. Day 3 was leather jacket day. I am obsessed with leather jackets, and I think they're just really cool. Today I noticed some different things, although I don't know if they're really differences. The cute guy who sits next to me in one of my classes talked to me, and that was really cool, and a couple girls in my hall are being nicer than usual, although not many. Maybe 4 out of 50. It's the leather jacket day, woohoo! Here, I'm gonna sit you guys up here. As for differences, one guy who I know, I kind of know, he's one of my sister's friends, right? he didn't recognize me when I was in the dining hall, and then he was like, oh wait, like that's Patience. So I don't know if makeup makes me look like that different, I guess. Yeah, so he didn't recognize me, that's one thing. I've noticed that a lot more people like look at me, if that makes sense, so I'm a little bit less like, not invisible, but like, I don't know, like specifically guys, not girls. Like it's pretty much the same with like most of the girls. So there's those two, and I have noticed that like some of the girls in my hall do treat me nicer, but like not all of them. It's only like a couple of them, you know? I feel like for the most part, like a surprisingly unexpectedly wholesome part of this experiment is that like the people who matter, like my friends and the people like I care about, don't treat me any differently, like at all. Like not at all. Like I've, like maybe the only thing that could be different is like, oh, I noticed you were wearing makeup, yeah. And then like that's it. So I mean that is really nice. That's a good thing, because like I came into this experiment being like, will it change like everything, or is it like how far does this like reach? Like is pretty privilege real? So like I don't know. I feel like right now, like if I were to end it right now, which I'm not, we still have like a good way to go. If I were to end it right now, I would say that it is real, but like not to the people who matter. It is real for like some people, but those aren't necessarily the people you care about. And I know like that's coming from like a place of like, oh, she's a college kid. I don't need like my boss per se to think like, oh great, she's pretty, so I'm gonna promote her. Or I don't need like excessive amount of favors in the workplace. So maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll see it differently when I'm like in the workplace, and maybe like all those little things, like those little people like stack up. But I feel like for the majority, like the people who matter, like the people I care about and the people who care about me, it hasn't been that big of a change, and that's honestly really heartwarming. That's a big thing for me. Before I go, one thing that I will say has been very frustrating about this experiment is how much time it takes to put on makeup. Like I have to wake up like a full hour earlier. Like I wake up and then like, that includes my morning routine too. So like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just really don't want to wear makeup today. Like, I don't want, like, the clumpy way mascara feels on my face, and, like, all the other makeup's fine, just the mascara. Or, like, I don't want to, like, spend the time doing makeup today. Like, it's so much time. Like, today I almost missed breakfast because I had to do, like, all the makeup and stuff. So, like, I don't know. Like, it's pretty, but, like, is it worth it? You know? I feel like, also inwardly, like, some inward makeup effects. Like, I definitely feel more confident because you get that little boost, like, every time you walk past a mirror and you're like, oh, I'm wearing makeup today. But in another weird way, I also feel, like, significantly unhealthier. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's because of the makeup or it's just, like, because of, like, in college, but, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's certainly a weird side effect. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Weird. I don't know. Hi. I'm up here in the Freedom Tower. It's nighttime. This is one of my very favorite places at Liberty because it's almost always empty. And especially on like warm nights like tonight, I like to take a little book up here, get a meal. Right now I was craving a burger, so I got myself a black bean burger. Yeah, you can look out over the entire campus, any side you want. Just really pretty, and I love it. So one of my New Year's resolutions is to try to take a sunset dinner every week. So, once a week, just one dinner by myself, just reading and watching the sunset or just looking back at campus. Already it's one of my favorite traditions. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. It just forces you to slow down and just like relax, read, enjoy your surroundings. It's very rejuvenating, and yeah, I like it. Day 4 was the day my eyeliner pencil broke. No! The day overall was super rainy, and I wore my white shoes for the first time, which was actually kind of fun, because you could see them, they were really bright against, like, the rainy puddles. I didn't have too much interaction that day, and what I did have wasn't super remarkable, so I didn't film too much on day 4. Friday, I did not record yesterday. Nothing really happened of note, but today something happened. Today I had to get a shot so I wouldn't get fined, so my arm was a little stiff, but it's alright. I am still alive, still thriving, still vibing, but today I went to accounting, and accounting is the hot accounting boy, of course, and today the hot accounting and boy and I talked a little bit, and he asked for my number. I don't know if that's because I'm wearing makeup or not, but like, I'm happy either way, you know? You can hear the shaking cereal. Hello, it is Saturday, and today is a no makeup control day to see if anything different happens. And nope, pretty much it's been pretty much the same, just like it was all week, which is nice and actually like a very comforting thing to hear. So yeah, I don't know. People still ask me to sit with them. I still made friends at the event I went to. It was fun. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Yes, of course. Now, there we go. Last one. Now with this one, we go out, two, out, two. Nice. There's Beyonce. Told you she made her appearance. Two more. Three blocks. 3, 2, 1.
This day, day 7, was also a Sunday and also the last day of the experiment. I went to church, wrote down my thoughts to officially say on Monday, and it was almost 1 week after I'd started. Hello, I just got back from church, so no difference in treatment at church. Yeah, that's that. We're nearing up to the last bit of our day. Right now, I'm gonna take a bit of a reading lunch. I'm gonna read, just get lunch, and it's raining, and it's gonna be really cozy. I might do a study vlog later. But yeah, I don't know, we're coming up on the last bit of this day, so how does it feel? Kind of crazy, right? We'll record results later. So it's the end of the experiment, the very last day. And so I guess it's time to recap our findings. I definitely came into this expecting that there would be like a stark difference. Like, oh my word, like it's so different how everyone treats me. But I was actually really pleasantly surprised to find that it was like really not that case, if that makes sense. Like some people did for sure. I definitely got a lot more like attention from strangers in public, but not from the people who I cared about or like knew. You know, if they already knew me, they really didn't care. No one, like nothing changed except for maybe like, oh, you're wearing makeup today, and like that was it. Yeah, so I don't know, I was pleasantly surprised by that. The people who knew me and who cared about me didn't act any differently. It was basically just the same as it had been all along, which was really, really nice. Additionally, people I met with makeup didn't treat me any differently when it came off. So that was a good sign. That was a plus. So in conclusion, I guess it really matters on the location. I would like to see a reverse of the study done by maybe someone who wears makeup a lot to take it off for a week and to see if that changes anything different, because that would be a very, very different viewpoint, I think. In conclusion, strangers, especially men, treat you a little bit differently, but most people, including the people who you're actually good friends with, really don't. So, yeah. Pretty privilege is real, but it probably won't ruin most of your relationships, and that's a good thing. Would I wear makeup again? Would this be something that I want to repeat? Maybe. I did enjoy wearing makeup a little bit. It was kind of fun to like walk past a mirror and you go like, ah, I'm so dressed up today. But at the same time, I also don't feel like it's very good. Like my eyelashes especially, like, I've been coconut oiling like all week, but no, they did not take this experiment well. So I don't know if I want this to be an everyday thing. There are also some days where I wake up and I'd be like, I just want to like go back to bed and then wake up right before class and just go instead of like doing the whole like hour-long makeup shebang. So yeah, there will definitely be days when I do not. So I don't know if this is going to be like a regular thing, but I definitely enjoyed doing it and I might hope to be able to do it a little bit more. Again, this is a very limited study. It was mostly based on my subjective personal experience. I'm also at college, so that's a little bit different than like in the workplace, where like a tiny amount of pretty privilege with strangers might get you like a promotion or something that's bigger rather than just a few strangers smiling at you. Anyway, regardless of whether you wear makeup or not, I think you're pretty boss. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Oh, and like, share, and subscribe. Yes, thank you.